Are you ready to step back in time and uncover a secret that will revolutionize the way you sleep forever? Imagine a world where you wake up feeling rejuvenated, your mind sharper than ever before, and your body ready to conquer any challenge. What if I told you that the key to this extraordinary transformation lies in the simple, yet profound way our ancestors slept hundreds of years ago? It might sound crazy, but stick with me because the knowledge I'm about to share is pure gold. A world without alarms now. I want you to close your eyes and imagine a world without the incessant buzzing of alarms, the glowing blue light of screens, or the never-ending stream of emails demanding your attention. Picture yourself nestled inside a cozy Viking longhouse during the winter months when snow blankets the world outside. A warm fire crackles merrily in the hearth, casting dancing shadows on the thick wool blankets that adorn your bed of straw and furs. Outside, the wind howls, but within the sturdy wooden walls, all is peaceful. Around you, family members and friends sleep soundly, their breaths mingling in the air like gentle whispers. You feel a sense of deep contentment and security, knowing that you're surrounded by your loved ones in a place of safety. As you drift into slumber, the rhythmic crackle of the fire lulls you into a state of blissful relaxation. You're in the Viking Age, and according to recent scientific findings, you might be experiencing the best sleep in human history. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the irony of this situation. Vikings, known for their fierce and adventurous spirit, somehow managed to outsleep us modern humans with our advanced technology and countless sleep gadgets. So how did these rough-and-tumble seafarers and explorers achieve such legendary slumber? Let's dive into the secrets of Viking sleep and discover how they embraced a simpler way of life that led to deeper, more restorative rest. Life by firelight. To understand the secrets of Viking sleep, we must first immerse ourselves in their daily lives. Vikings lived in harmony with nature, following the rhythm of the sun and seasons without the distraction of artificial lighting. When the sun dipped below the horizon in winter, darkness enveloped the land early, signaling the start of their day. This lack of artificial light influenced their body's production of melatonin, the sleep-inducing hormone, preparing them for an early night's rest. In the heart of their homes, longhouses made of timber, sod, and earth, lay the hearth, the center of warmth and light. As darkness fell, flickering flames replaced daylight, casting a warm glow on the faces of those gathered near the hearth. Oil lamps offered additional light, but the glow of firelight was cherished and embraced. Inside these snug longhouses, the elements conspired to create a perfect sleep environment. The thick walls muffled the sound of wind and snow, ensuring a peaceful slumber undisturbed by the harsh elements outside. The cozy beds, lined with straw, moss, wool, and animal hides, provided a comforting retreat from the cold, allowing the Vikings to drift off to dreamland with ease. The secrets of segmented sleep. One of the most intriguing aspects of Viking sleep habits was their practice of segmented sleep. Historical records suggest that people in pre-industrial societies, including Norse culture, slept not in one continuous stretch, but in two distinct phases. The first sleep commenced shortly after sunset and lasted for about 4 to 5 hours. Around midnight, however, sleep would momentarily cease, giving way to a waking period that lasted for about 1 to 2 hours. During this time, people engaged in quiet activities such as prayer, storytelling, or quiet reflection before falling back into a peaceful slumber that extended until dawn. This segmented sleep pattern, once common across cultures, was not merely a quirk of tradition, but a natural and healthy approach to rest. Modern sleep science now validates what our ancestors instinctively understood. Segmented sleep allows the body to align with circadian rhythms, promoting better quality rest and improved overall health. Viking life was not all meat halls and carefree adventures. It was hard, short, and dangerous. Farming, shipbuilding, warfare, and exploration demanded physical strength and endurance from the Vikings. However, this very hardship contributed to the depth of their rest. Unlike today's world, filled with relentless productivity pressures, Vikings had no qualms about slowing down and embracing leisure. After a day of strenuous work, their bodies were naturally tired, free from the modern-day stress of deadlines and commitments. Their exhaustion stemmed from physical exertion, not mental strain. Moreover, they lacked the stimulants that are so prevalent in modern society. No caffeine overloads or late-night screen binges. Instead, they found solace in the rhythm of nature, the warmth of community, and the nourishment of whole foods. This balanced lifestyle ensured that when it was time to sleep, their bodies were ready to rest without the interference of artificial stimulants or stress. The Vikings also held rest in high spiritual regard. Norse mythology viewed dreams as a way for the gods to communicate with mortals, carrying messages and warnings through the realm of slumber. This belief fostered a deep connection between the spiritual and natural world, making sleep not just a biological necessity, but a mystical experience. Some sagas even recounted instances of heroes being visited by gods or spirits during their sleep, imparting wisdom, direction, or foretelling their fate. For the Vikings, sleep was a sacred bond between the realms of the living and the divine. The science of simplicity. In today's world, sleep is a luxury. We sacrifice sleep for work, entertainment, and connectivity. But this was not the case for the Vikings. Their lifestyle, rooted in simplicity and natural rhythms, allowed for a deeper, more restorative sleep. Let's delve into the science of sleep and explore why the Viking way of life led to better rest. Modern life sabotages sleep in myriad ways. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production, while stress and overstimulation keep our minds racing, making insomnia a common ailment. The pressure to stay connected and constantly productive leaves us sleep-deprived. In contrast, the Viking Age offered a simpler existence. Even their wind-down rituals were slower and more intentional. Engaging in activities like carving wood or reciting poetry provided a calm transition into sleep. Such rituals, now backed by modern neuroscience, help signal the brain's transition into rest. The Viking diet also played a role in their quality of sleep. They consumed whole natural foods, including fish, meat, grains, and fermented dairy. These foods provided essential nutrients for balanced hormone levels, including melatonin and serotonin, which regulates mood and sleep. Sleep wasn't a luxury in Viking times, it was a survival tool. Deep sleep allowed for better immune function, sharper memory, and physical recovery. In a world where battles could happen at a moment's notice and the next voyage could last months, rest wasn't optional. They had to be ready, and sleep prepared them. Their children were raised with this rhythm. Infants slept in slings or with their mothers, cradled by the gentle sway of daily life. Older children shared sleeping spaces with siblings, learning the value of communal rest from an early age. There was no concept of sleep training, only the natural lull of dark and silence that enveloped their world each night. Even their ships were adapted for rest. When at sea, sailors slept under woolen cloaks, curled against one another for warmth. They slept in shifts, ensuring that someone was always alert, but everyone had a chance to recover. This practice not only kept their vessels safe, but also maintained the crew's physical and mental acuity during long voyages. These routines, honed by necessity, also created a kind of cultural resilience. When the Vikings ventured into harsh new lands, from the icy shores of Greenland to the mysterious coasts of Vinland, they brought not just weapons and stories, but the rhythms of rest that made their explorations possible. Their ability to adapt to new environments while maintaining healthy sleep patterns was a crucial factor in their success as explorers and settlers. So what can we learn from the Viking approach to sleep? First and foremost, we must respect the dark. The Norse people lived in harmony with the natural cycles of light and darkness, embracing the low light of evening as a signal to wind down and prepare for rest. In our modern world of perpetual illumination, we would do well to dim our lights and create a more natural transition to sleep. We should also rethink our schedules. The Vikings didn't adhere to rigid sleep patterns dictated by clocks. Instead, they listened to their bodies, often napping or splitting their sleep if they woke naturally. This flexibility allowed them to accumulate the rest they needed without the stress of forced sleep schedules. The use of natural materials was another key aspect of Viking sleep hygiene. Wool, furs, and simple bedding helped them stay warm and dry, creating an ideal sleep environment. These materials breathed with the body, regulating temperature and moisture in a way that many modern synthetic fabrics cannot match. Perhaps most importantly, the Vikings limited artificial input before sleep. With no glowing screens to disrupt their circadian rhythms, their bodies were free to produce sleep hormones naturally, in sync with the setting sun and the deepening night. You don't need to sleep in a longhouse or wield an axe to benefit from Viking wisdom. Just remember, the best sleep isn't always found in luxury. It's found in rhythm. Incorporate evening rituals into your routine. Dim your lights as the day winds down. Read aloud to your family or listen to stories, just as the Vikings did around their hearths. Let the night be quiet, free from the buzz of electronics and the chatter of modern life. Let your mind drift with the dark, following the ancient pathways to deep and restorative sleep. By embracing these practices, you may find that the ancient world still has much to teach us about how to rest. The Vikings understood, perhaps better than we do, that quality sleep was not just about comfort, but about survival and thriving in a challenging world. As we ponder the sleep habits of our Norse ancestors, you might imagine a scene from their lives. As the snow falls outside and the fire crackles low, the Vikings dream of distant shores yet unexplored, of gods and battles that shaped their world, of peace in their homes and villages. They slept without fear of missing notifications, without screens glowing into their eyes, disrupting their natural rhythms, without the pressure of deadlines looming in the pre-dawn hours, without the constant noise that pervades our modern existence. Instead, they slept in the arms of the earth, in tune with wind and flame, under the gaze of ancient stars. Their rest was deep, their dreams untroubled by the anxieties that plague our modern nights. They awoke refreshed, ready to face whatever challenges the new day might bring, whether it be tending crops, crafting tools, or setting sail for unknown lands. Maybe it's time we remembered how to sleep like them, to reconnect with the natural world and its rhythms, to create spaces of darkness and quiet in our homes, islands of calm in the sea of our busy lives, to value rest as much as we value productivity, understanding that true productivity springs from a well-rested mind and body. The past may be gone, but its wisdom lives on. In the way we approach our nights, in the rituals we create around sleep, in the respect we show for the natural cycles of light and dark. By learning from the Vikings, we might just rediscover the art of truly restorative sleep. As we close our eyes tonight, let us imagine the peace of a Norse village settling down for the night. The last embers of the fire casting a warm glow, the soft murmur of wind through the trees, the distant call of a night bird. Let us breathe deeply, letting go of the day's concerns, and sink into the kind of sleep that nourished our ancestors for generations. In doing so, we might find more than just better rest. We might find a connection to our past, a reminder of our place in the natural world, and a path to a more balanced, healthier future. For in the end, the Vikings' greatest lesson might be this: true strength comes not from constant activity, but from knowing when and how to rest. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep, think of those ancient Norse people. Let their wisdom guide you to deeper, more restful nights. And perhaps, in your dreams, you too will sail on longships under starry skies, feeling the strength and peace that comes from truly restorative sleep.